attached. I have no microphone, and maybe I don't need one, but it's great to be here. You know, there's a lot of planning that goes into these weddings and these dinners and all of this stuff. And Amy and Sarah and Susan have planned this. I mean, it's like a NASA mission. It's down to the detail. If they had been responsible for the Normandy invasion, World War II would have been over in a week. Now, I want to talk about my boy Gus, who has done nothing except bring us joy. His whole life, he's always, you know, he's always done everything pretty well. Nothing great, but everything pretty darn well. And it's been a fun ride. And Mr. Yu is sitting here next to me, and I can remember the morning Gus was born. It took forever. I was tired. But anyway, he finally was born, and I got to hold him and cut the cord. And when I looked at him and I said, "Oh my God, it's Mr. Yu." I'm like, "Where are my genetics?" They were not there at all. But Gus has always pleased us and always made us happy, and he's got a lot of good friends. Sarah's got a lot of good friends, and I want to tell both of you, hang on to these friends, because the people you know, like from grade school and high school, they know who you really are. You can't reinvent yourself, and then so you can be completely comfortable with them. You can be yourself, and so hang on to each other. Hang on to your friends. Gus has been so happy since he met Sarah, especially since they got engaged, and he's happy every day, and that makes me happy. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but I used to tape him on the phone when he was little. I don't know if you'll hear this.
On your microphone.
Put it on your microphone.
No, it's...
Uh-oh. Did you rewind it?
Why?
You made a why? What'd you make it out of? What'd you make it from? And what did Mommy buy for you?
Gummies.
Oh, that sounds
I
good.
got a movie too.
You got a movie?
No,
No.
that one, Mommy.
Did you get a new movie?
Got a smoothie, okay. So, but that's what'll get your heart, you know, it just seizes your heart and you love someone so much, and it's beautiful, you know. And he's been beautiful, and Sarah's beautiful, and we're so lucky to have so many positives. I do want to say, I know there's some people who would have liked to have been here, can't be here on both sides of the family. I want to especially mention Master Yu's wife, Gus's grandmother. In Korean, she's called Harmony. And Harmony raised all our boys, along with a little help from me and a lot of help from Susan. But she'd come to our house, and Gus would be eating a French fry or a hamburger, and she'd go, "Oh, mom. He's got to eat fruit. He's got to eat fruit." So we miss, you know, she would love to be here, and I'm sure she's here with us now, and very happy for this occasion. So it's great to be here. Thank you.
If he had mentioned my mom. Okay. So So if you know me, I am a big fan of K-drama movies. And one that I just watched, I was just talking to my cousin about, it's called Ghost Attorney. And one of the things the main character said is that you can never say thank you, I'm sorry, and I love you too much. And if you don't say it when the emotions move you, you're going to regret it. So clearly, emotions are moving me right now. So, thank you, Gus. Thank you for giving us the privilege of being your mom and dad. We were the first to witness your brilliance, your heart, and your magic. We have had a great time being your parents. Thank you, Sarah, for recognizing Gus's magic and his love. Thank you for choosing him to share your life. We know that his love for you matches your love for him. And even though it hurts to let him go, we feel so blessed to be able to witness the magic that the two of you have created and will continue to create. Thank you to Amy and Kevin for sharing Sarah with us. She is a lovely, funny, and bright young woman. And we feel so fortunate to call you, Julia, Michael, the Wheelises, the Peters, all of you family. Thank you to my dad, my husband, Rio, Joe, my sister, my brother-in-law, my nieces, my cousins, all of you guys, to traveling so far, because I know we've had from California, from Florida, I think Texas, Oklahoma, for coming here to share this moment with us. Because I know this is the only time that all of us will be here together. And I just want us all to enjoy ourselves, soak in all of this love, soak in all of this magic, and let's enjoy this wedding celebration. We love you all. Thank you.
If you guys know, if everyone in this room knows how Sarah and Gus met, but it was a close one. They almost didn't meet. So it was senior year. They're both supply chain majors at NC State, and they end up in the same class for their senior design class. And their last names are very similar in the alphabet, O'Hale and Peters. And so the professor put them in the same group. But for the first 2 weeks, Sarah accidentally went to the wrong group without Gus. And so she missed it, and then she realized she was in the wrong group, and she joined the right group and met Gus, and they worked on this project together, and they went on a study date, and then they just were an item afterwards. But that was like the one chance. And, God played into it, and they found each other. And Gus is perfect for Sarah. She is so much herself with him that I love. And he brings out the best in her. And we love Gus, and we're so proud of Sarah. So I'm very happy that this is happening, and we're celebrating this weekend. And I want to read an essay that my dad shared with me when I was about Sarah's age, about life and our station, our journey in life. And I read this at Julia's wedding, so if you were at that one, this is a repeat. But many of you were not, so you have to listen to me read it anyways. So this is called The Station. It's by Robert Hastings. Tucked away in our subconscious minds is an ideologic vision. We see ourselves on a long trip that almost spans the continent. We're traveling by passenger train, and out the windows we see a passing scene of cars on a nearby highway, of children waving at a crossing, of cattle grazing on a different hillside, or smoke pouring from a power plant, or upon a corn or wheat farm, or flatlands, or valleys, or mountains, or rolling hills in the blazing summer, and spring and docile fall. But upmost in our minds is the final destination. On a certain day, on a certain hour, we will pull into the station. There will be bands playing and flags waving. And once we get there, there will be so many wonderful dreams that come true. So many wishes will be fulfilled, and so many pieces of our lives will finally be fitted neatly together like a completed jigsaw puzzle. How restlessly we pace the aisles, maintaining the minutes of listening, waiting for the station. However, sooner or later, we must realize that there is no one station, no one place to arrive all at once and for all. The true joy in life is the trip. The station is only a dream. It's constantly distancing us. When we reach the station, that will be it. Translated, it means, when I'm 18, that will be it. When I buy a new Mercedes-Benz, that will be it. When I put the last kid through college, that will be it. When I've paid off the mortgage, that will be it. When I win a promotion, that will be it. When I reach the age of retirement, that will be it. I will be happily ever after then. Unfortunately, once we get it, then it disappears. The station somehow hides itself, and we reach the end of the track. So relish the moment is the motto, especially when coupled with the psalm. This is the day in which the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It isn't the burdens of today that drive men mad, rather the regret over yesterday or the fear of tomorrow. Regret and fear are the twin thieves who would rob us of today. So stop pacing the aisles and counting the miles. Instead, climb more mountains, eat more ice cream, go barefoot more often, swim more rivers, watch more sunsets, laugh more and cry less. Life must be lived as we go. The station will come soon enough.
Excuse me. I would like to thank everybody for coming here tonight. It means so much to me and Sarah to have so many friends and family here. I know a lot of people have traveled far, so I can't say how thankful that me and Sarah are to have all of you here. Thank you to the Wheelases, Peters, and the Coins for everything that you guys have done for tomorrow. I know it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to get there. Thank you. I was going to say something more, but now I can't because my mom made me cry. But thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you guys so much. Couldn't have asked for better parents. I can't say anymore. I was going to get that. But thank you guys so much. I love you more than anything. Thank you to the bridesmaids for being here. You guys look beautiful. Groomsmen, you guys look better than I thought. So good job. Good job in the groomsmen. But now about Sarah. Oh, all right. But so up until this weekend, people were asking me if I was ready. How, where am I at? Where am I right now? And I said, it's 2 minutes left in the basketball game. Up 5. I got the ball. Just got to win the game now. Just get fouled, win the game. But I realize I won the game 3 years ago when I met Sarah, and now this has just been a victory parade. And thank you guys for being here on our victory parade. Love you guys so much. Sarah, I can't wait to marry you tomorrow. I love you so much. That's it. I'm done. I can't do it. I'm done.
I thought I was going to do really good, and then people keep making me cry today, so we'll see. But my name's Addison Skinner. It's been a pleasure meeting all of y'all if I haven't met you already. I have been best friends with Sarah since the first grade. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to read. Tell me about it. Okay. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. O'Hale for a beautiful night. I've loved getting to know y'all's family and Gus, and Mr. and Mr. Peters for what's to come this weekend. But if you know me, you probably know Sarah. I was doing so good when I was trying. Okay. That might be because she will likely immediately stalk you on Instagram the second that I speak about you and probably follow you. So that's probably why you do that. But more importantly, it's because she's one of the most loyal friends that I've ever had, and one of the most loyal people you will ever meet. Sarah has a way of loving people in your life as deeply as you do, which has been really special, the kind of friend. Okay, I'm getting it together. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, like I mentioned, Sarah and I have been friends since the first grade. This is how we've decided that our friendship has evolved. Not sure if this is true, so don't fact check me or us. But we started out strictly as before and after school friends in elementary school when the Peters moved from Texas. And in the second grade, we were placed in the same class. Thank you very much. Community Torrance 3, wrong school. And our dads met at the Christmas party in the second grade. And from there, the rest was history. Our lives quickly filled with family vacations, slumber parties, we were roommates, cheer competitions, where Sarah was the ultimate cheer sister, for those of you who didn't know. She needs to put that on her resume. And what really sealed the deal for me is that she used to always invite me over and would rewatch episodes of Dance Moms with me because I wasn't allowed to watch at home. Sorry, Mom and Dad. We would, in fact, watch Dance Moms every single time that I came over. But throughout our entire lives, it's been really special to watch Sarah grow and change while always staying true to who she is. She's always been strong-willed, funny, caring, deeply passionate about her family, even though she sometimes has an interesting way of showing, like physically finding her sister 48 hours after arm surgery. Glad I was there to witness that. Might have instigated a little, sorry. And she is truly the best friend anyone could ask for. I think when your best friend starts dating someone, all you can hope is that they stay true to who they are. And right after Sarah and Gus started dating, not long after, Miss Amy was over at my parents' house, and as she said, I just love that my favorite thing is that Sarah is just truly herself around him, and I couldn't agree more. So Gus, thank you for encouraging Sarah to be exactly who she is, for being her biggest cheerleader, and for loving her for it. And Goo, our sweet Goo. What a gift it is that Sarah has found someone who so quickly became one of my best friends too. Gus, you're charismatic, loving, incredibly kind, and so patient. We honestly need to talk about this for a second because Gus will just sit back, laugh along with us while we're probably doing something really annoying, like making TikTok dances or coming up with bizarre new nicknames for him every week. And the way Gus will just carry in the many packages that Sarah orders and gets delivered every single day. No questions asked. And the way he always says yes to taking Mabel out, even if it's pouring rain, or filling up Sarah's water bottle, even if she's already in the kitchen. Yes, this does happen. And he always says yes with a happy heart. Gus, our sexy Asian cowboy. You definitely keep our lives interesting too. That's what Sarah's grandmother calls him, just if you didn't get that wrong. Likely, each time I open my phone, there's another random meme that you've said that I have no idea what it means, but I just laugh along with it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm so thankful that Sarah and I both get to have you in our lives now forever. Sarah and Gus, this is just the beginning, and I'm so excited to be by your sides through everything ahead, cheering you on each step of the way. You truly are the perfect match, and we all could not be more excited for y'all. So, let's raise a glass to the future O'Hales. And Gus, remember, happy wife, happy life. Pardon me.
Good evening, everyone. I'm one of Sarah's bridesmaids, cousins, and best friends, which means I've had the privilege of growing up alongside her and getting a front row to so many different seasons of her life. Sarah, I genuinely cannot believe this weekend is here. Tomorrow is your wedding day. We've been praying and anticipating this day for as long as I can remember. Little Sarah and Ray would absolutely lose their minds if they could see us now. I am so lucky and honored that I get to stand by your side on such an important day. I hope this weekend is everything you've dreamed of and more. Sarah is truly one of the best people you could ever have in your life. One of the things I admire most about Sarah is the way she loves people. If you are lucky enough to be loved by her, you really feel it. She is loyal, thoughtful, encouraging, hilarious, and somehow always fully herself no matter where she is or who she's around. She's the kind of person who checks in on people, remembers little details, and always makes everyone around her feel included. She gives incredible advice, sometimes comforting, sometimes brutally honest, but always exactly what you need to hear. And she is genuinely one of the funniest people I know. Every time I spend time with her, I leave with a new phrase or inside joke that somehow becomes part of my vocabulary for the next month. One week it's slay, the next it's hallelujah, and somehow she can always make all of it sound normal. She also has a nickname, or multiple nicknames, for absolutely everyone. Honestly, if Sarah only calls you by your real name, you should probably be concerned. One of my favorite seasons of life with Sarah was when we lived together in Breckenridge, Colorado, one summer in college. We cooked together, hiked together, binge-watched all 4 Hunger Games movies multiple times, and ate an alarming amount of French onion soup at Eric's. We laughed constantly. Even the chaotic moments somehow became memories we still talk about all the time. But as much as I cherish those memories, one of my favorite things has been getting to watch Sarah fall in love with Gus. Once upon a time, the planets and the fates and all the stars aligned, and Sarah and Gus ended up in the same room at the same time. They ended up in the same group project because the groups were sorted by alphabetical order. Sarah actually joined the wrong group, at first by accident. Luckily, she ended up joining the right group, which led her to Gus. I can't believe a supply chain class at NC State turned into this. Once Sarah started talking about Gus, it was obvious something was different. She was happier, calmer, and maybe just slightly obsessed. Gus, from the moment I met you, it was obvious how much you adore Sarah. You're patient with her, protective of her, supportive of her, and you make her laugh constantly. The way you look at her, the way you speak at her, the way you care for her and call her your sweet baby angel, it's impossible to miss. And I think one of the most special things about your relationship is that underneath all the romance, you're truly best friends. And Sarah and I love Gilmore Girls, so I have to say, Luke Danes from Gilmore Girls once said, "It's like my life isn't even real to me unless you're there and you're in it and I'm sharing it with you." You guys are the best people who genuinely make life better simply because you get to share it together. Because Sarah and I spent so much time of our Colorado summer quoting the Hunger Games, I have to include another quote. You love me, real or not real? Real. Sarah and Gus, what you have is real. It's the kind of love and partnership and friendship, and you're choosing each other over and over again. And I feel so lucky that all of us get to witness and celebrate it this weekend. So before we all continue celebrating, I just want to say how thankful I am for both of you, for the people you are individually, and for the life you are building together. Some of you might have seen the movie When Harry Met Sally, and remember when Harry confessed his love to Sally and said, when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. Well, Sarah and Gus, the rest of your life starts tomorrow. Let's raise a glass to Sarah and Gus, to a lifetime of laughter, friendship, adventure, and
Alrighty, here we go. Let's rock and roll.
Everyone, I speak for all the folks in this room when I say that Gus and Sarah are a freaking awesome couple. I'm Jimmy. It's very nice to meet everyone. I've been one of Gus's best friends since early days in high school. So some of you may know Sarah and Gus, and some of you may know Gus and not Sarah. Some of you may know both of them. I fortunately fall into that third category when I know them both very well, and I'm looking forward to knowing Sarah even better as our lives progresses and as this marriage continues on through the rest of their lives. I've been around Sarah many times now, and what I do see is why Gus brings up his sweet baby angel constantly. Every 5 seconds, don't worry, Gus, it's fine because you're marrying her now. She's such a special woman, and I can't wait to get to know her even better over the years. But first, let me give a bit of a backstory of myself and these groomsmen, and who will all be groomsmen at my wedding, are also very best friends of myself and Gus, who have had a huge impact on our lives, as has Gus. I met Gus my freshman year of high school, and not so long after that, towards the end of freshman year, we became best friends. White on rice. Fortunately, that friendship has lasted throughout the years, and honestly, it felt like we never skipped a beat. From ragging on each other about who could rile up a teacher more, or Gus telling me not to do something and me obviously doing that anyway because I thought I was funny. There were always some shenanigans involved. Henry, Phil, and Madaras, who you may meet at some point, were right alongside of Gus and I during that ride as well in high school. Henry, refer to him as 12-piece. Phil, Philly cheesesteak, also known as the class act. Parents love him, your aunts and uncles probably love him, and we love him too. He's one of our best friends. And you'll meet Madaras, who was my roommate at NC State for 3 years. His actual name is Nick. He's got too many nicknames to count. He's also goes by the General. Keep in mind, there's some koozies that Gus has made for us with our nicknames and names on them, so we're excited to meet everyone in this room at some point, hopefully. Transitioning to the formation of the Pack Boys, as we called ourselves, in the infamous group chat with me, Henry, Madaras, and Gus. Good old NC State, where Gus was fortunate to meet Sarah. This is where the pack grew. Gus welcomed more people into his wolf pack: Mike, Shine, and Maxwell. I've had the pleasure of being best friends with Maxwell since we were 12 years old, and him joining forces with us was a seamless maneuver once they were introduced. Gus knew Mike from Greensboro, and once him and Henry decided to live with Mike and our other great friend Brody, the brotherhood was born. Can't say enough about Shine. His real name is Jack, and him and I were fortunate enough to live together for 3 years after joining our fraternity, which Gus essentially became a part of by the end of the day. But the thing about Gus is it doesn't matter who you are, who you were, or how you think people might perceive you. None of that matters, and it's never mattered to him. Everybody eats. Treat everyone with the same level of respect and let people's true colors show. That's Gus. Always inclusive, always watching out for everyone else, and after a lot of drinks, no matter how he feels, somehow, at the end of the night, he's bringing everyone blankets, getting people water, turning into Papa, as we call him, because that's the type of man Mr. and Mrs. O'Hale have raised him to be. Truly altruistic and unapologetically himself. Never putting on a show for anyone else, as I always say, and I'll tell one story about Gus, and trust me, it's all going to tie together here in a moment. Our senior year one night, we were not dating anyone at the time, and it was Valentine's Day. So 2 boys that are best friends on a weekend night, what did we decide to do? We decided, hey, we're going to go to the gym, get some Chick-fil-A, and have some Miller Lights, as Gus loves to do. So keep in mind, Gus needed to be up at 7 a.m. the next day to go to women's basketball practice, as he was one of the assistant coaches who played alongside the team, and he was one of their scout players, and he's part of the reason why this team was pretty damn good. We go to the gym, grab our Chick-fil-A, start putting back some beverages, and that turned into boxed wine being broken out at midnight and bootlegger around 4 in the morning. But 7 a.m. comes around and Gus gave his classic "I feel awful" groan, and then he got his ass up, drove to Tally Student Union, grabbed a Monster and a Powerade, no complaints, and practiced with the team. That's who he is. He always shows up. He's dependable, and damn it, he's always making sure everyone else is okay way before he is. best times throughout high school and into NC State, and somehow, by the grace of God, everyone talks about how did Sarah step into Gus's life. I'd argue it's divine intervention, right? That last semester of college. Sarah joined the wrong group, and she walked over to the table that Gus was sitting at, found the right group, and found the right man. And from what I was told, as funny as Gus is, one of my high school yearbook quote is actually after Gus. He was cracking jokes during the group project, and Sarah got to laugh and laugh all over again with those perfect teeth and great smile, as Gus says. Then he was lucky enough to not have to ask for her number because they were in the group project together. So he decided to text her, ask her to dinner, and the spark was born from there. Called me after the date, beaming about how great Sarah was and how smart she was. And that was one of the things he commented on, was how intelligent Sarah was. And to this day, Gus is Sarah's biggest cheerleader, always telling me about her work travel, and how valuable she is at her job, how great of a woman that she is to compliment him. And what I've gathered is she's the woman to compliment Gus and becoming Mrs. O'Hale tomorrow evening. Sarah, I've seen Gus before he was your Gus, and you've changed him for the better in a myriad of ways. By change, I also mean reinforce the values that you and him hold near and dear to your heart, those being God, family, friendships, and the best of all, Mabel. Those of you who don't know, Gus and Sarah's wonderful golden retriever, that is Mabel, who is their baby, essentially. She should be sitting with all of us here right now. Sarah, thank you for stepping into Gus's life and showcasing what love truly is and being a paragon of a fiancé and soon-to-be wife. Selfishly speaking, I'm beyond to get excited to become one of your best friends in the coming years, since we'll be spending more and more time together. Promise, I'm not trying to plot to end up in your basement. I promise that. You've pushed Gus way outside his comfort zone for the better. Always bring a smile to my face when he calls me ecstatic about the time he just spent together with your grandmother, parents, sister, and your new husband. They say you marry the family when you marry someone. They say you marry the family when you marry someone. And Gus has spoken about nothing but great things from your family and wonderful parents, Sarah. Before I tie this together and close this out, I want to mention Gus's family as well, who's marrying Sarah. Mrs. O'Hale, Mr. O'Hale, Rio, and Joe are some of the best people I've ever met and have a huge impact on my life, and I can't tell you how many times I've spent the night and half of the afternoon of the next day in their Gus's infamous back room. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. O'Hale, for the advice and wisdom you bestowed upon myself throughout the years. Gus and Sarah, you two are tremendous people, and we cannot wait to see the future and family you two build together. I can't wait to become Uncle Dash one day. Keep cheering each other on, always listen to each other with intention, and never forget to keep loving each other as hard as you can for the rest of your lives. I'd ask everyone to raise a glass to Sarah and Gus, the new O'Hales. And then open mic for any of the groomsmen at this point as well.
Oh, no, we're going to...
We're good. No.
Okay, a toast to the bride and groom. A promise to have and to hold, to share each other's dreams and all that life brings. And to be in love always. This promise is really it's something to celebrate. And so are you two. Happy life, happy marriage. Cheers to you guys.